Over the centuries, the Egyptians perfected mummification techniques, seeking to ensure that the body and soul were protected for their journey to the afterlife. Part of this process involved the use of resins, scented waxes, and specialty oils. While mummification today seems like an otherworldly practice, at the time it was a detailed art with a deep religious connection. The pleasant scents were not only a symbol of cleanliness and purity, but also evoked the presence of the deities. This is how Egyptian mummies still smell some 5,000 years later, according to a study that has combined the latest chemical analysis technologies, such as an electronic nose, with direct olfactory analysis. Good smell was essential for the ancient Egyptians during the mummification process. They associated the purity of the gods with it, while the bad smell was equivalent to the corruption and putrefaction of a body. Today, conservators continue to describe the scent of mummified bodies thousands of years ago as pleasant, as they still keep the aromatic resins of plants, pine, cedar, juniper, myrrh, or frankincense, and the waxes used to mummify. The research on the smell of ancient Egyptian mummies was published last Friday in the Journal of the American Chemical Society and is the result of collaboration between curators from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, where the 9 mummies studied come from, and researchers from Slovenia, Poland, and the United Kingdom. Odors are chemical molecules suspended in the air that a substance has given off. The researchers used an instrument called a gas chromatograph, coupled to a spectrometer to measure and quantify the chemicals emitted by the 9 bodies studied, currently on display at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. In addition, a group of trained human sniffers described the smells in terms of quality, intensity, and pleasantness. By combining these methods, the researchers were able to determine whether the chemical smell was emitted by the archaeological object, by preservation products, pesticides added later, or by the natural deterioration of the mummy over the years due to molds, bacteria, and other microorganisms. Along with the detection of wood, spice, and sweet odors, the research also demonstrated the effectiveness of odor as a non-invasive and non-destructive method for chemically classifying and analyzing ancient remains. For the ancient Egyptians, mummification was an important mortuary practice aimed at preserving the body and soul for the afterlife through a meticulous ritual of embalming the deceased with oils, waxes, and balms. The identification of the different techniques and materials used to mummify today offers valuable information about the era, location, and socioeconomic status of the mummified individual. The smell of mummified bodies has aroused great interest for years, but until now no scientific study had been carried out combining chemical techniques and perception. This is a pioneering study. The olfactory secrets of mummification. The Egyptians didn't just mummify human bodies. They were also dedicated to preserving animals and valuable objects to accompany the dead on their journey to the afterlife. The scents identified in the mummies include a rich variety of ingredients used to embalm and preserve bodies: conifer resins, pine, cedar, and juniper essential oils, plus gummy oils such as myrrh and frankincense. This repertoire of scents not only serves a practical purpose, but also reflects the social and cultural complexity of ancient Egypt. According to Ali Abdel Halim, director of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo and co-author of the study, the use of different mummification materials and techniques could vary depending on the time, location, and social status of the mummified person. Pharaohs and members of the elite could afford more exquisite materials and more detailed mummification, while the lower classes received more basic treatment. Why is smell so important? The study of mummy scents not only has historical or cultural value, but can also improve modern preservation techniques. By knowing which substances contribute to the preservation of these relics, scientists can apply this knowledge to better protect archaeological artifacts and prevent their deterioration. In addition, this finding opens the door to a new way of experiencing museum exhibitions through olfactory landscapes. Imagine visiting an exhibition where you can not only see, but also smell the past. Curiosities about mummies. Aside from olfactory secrets, Egyptian mummies have many other stories to tell. The embalming process. Although mummification is known for its complexity, the process could take up to 70 days. The internal organs were removed. The body was dehydrated with natron, and then wrapped in linen bandages. The heart, the center of the soul. The Egyptians consider the heart to be the center of intelligence and the soul, so it was rarely extracted during mummification. Often, it was left on the body or placed in a special urn inside the tomb. Royal mummies. The mummies of pharaohs and important figures were surrounded by luxury and riches. Their tombs, like the pyramids, contained valuable objects that would accompany them in the afterlife. The mystery of Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun's tomb is one of the most famous in the world, not only because of the wealth it contained, but because of the story of the curse that supposedly affected those who discovered it in 1922. Modern technology and science. Thanks to modern technologies such as computed tomography (CT), scientists have been able to study mummies in a way never before possible. Diseases and deformities have been discovered in the pharaohs, which has opened new windows into understanding how they lived and died. Mummies elsewhere. Although Egyptian mummies are the best known, bodies preserved by extreme conditions have also been found in other parts of the world, such as in the Atacama Desert in Chile or the Alps. The Book of the Dead. This sacred text was placed in tombs to guide the deceased on their journey to the afterlife, helping them to avoid dangers and attain eternal life. An olfactory sense for history. The study of mummy odors not only enriches our knowledge of ancient Egyptian civilization, but also opens up new perspectives for the preservation and presentation of these fascinating relics. Perhaps, in the near future, we will be able to walk through museums and experience the past not only with our eyes, but also with our smell, bringing us even closer to the essence of those who lived thousands of years ago.